Well, it's a Tuesday. It's about 15 Celsius. As you can see, I'm up here at St. James Park. This is in the east end of Toronto. It's exactly 1 year, my 1 year anniversary since I left the Palace Arms, not on my own will or fruition, but was basically forced out when I came back and found that 5 bike cops were wanting to talk to me and take me into 14th Division. For no reason. There was no warrant for my arrest at the time. It was a witch hunt by the owner of the Palace Arms, Mr. Bernie Tishman, who, as you know, is selling the Palace Arms on April 30th. Everybody has to be out of that establishment. And 1 year after moving from my great location in the west end of Toronto at 950 King Street West, it's kind of disappointing because I really love that neighborhood. And right now where I'm at, of course, Jarvis and Dundas, I'm like in a cesspool of fucking crack cocaine and all these drug addicts, and it's really starting to annoy me. I don't know how much longer I can handle being around guys that are drug addicts and guys that are mentally ill, because I'm just about to snap here. And I'm trying to maintain my composure and not, lose it. So, and it was just disappointing the way that I was forced out of 950 King Street West. The neighborhood of King and Strong was the neighborhood I loved being in for over 20 years. And I'm disappointed that I had to leave that neighborhood, not under my own will. And here we are. It's April 11th. It's 1 year later, when all of a sudden I had to leave. Luckily I had some money in my pocket, and I had to move to Fillmore's for 1 week back on April 11th, 2016. And, it's a bittersweet issue for me, because it shows you how guys like owners of buildings can work with the police to force a guy who tries to mind his own business and has no warrant for his arrest and force him into these kind of situation where, and my own personal belongings were taken, which I'll never get back, from 14th Division. So unfortunately I lost a lot in that move. There was a lot of money that was taken from me. Wow, there's a lot of traffic here. And it shows you a guy that's like me, that had money and personal belongings, and all of a sudden you run into an owner that's corrupt, and this owner sicks the cops on me for no reason whatsoever, and I lost my personal belongings and I lost cash. I lost a substantial amount of cash, which I'll never recover, because it's pretty difficult to recover that money. And unfortunately, these things probably happen more than you hear about in any city in Canada, particularly in a big city where a guy that has money, all of a sudden the money that he's needed to go on to the next stage of his game is unfortunately stolen from him, and he has no chance of getting it back. Now, personal belongings that I can't replace. It's unbelievable what can happen. And it's a message to anybody that if you get involved with an owner, and any owner of a building decides to evict you illegally, you can lose all your personal belongings. That's what happened to me. I was illegally evicted, and all my personal belongings were stolen by tenants. And it's unfortunate that it had to come to this. And that's all I have to say.